Hey guys, Oda King Live here, coming at you again for another Pickups of the Week episode. And as you can tell, I'm starting here on my Domo-kun hat and this sick-ass scorpion bobblehead statue. Okay, so anyways, what this was pretty much 2 yard sales and a pawn shop this weekend. So I'm going to go through some of the regular stuff, and then I tell you, there's going to be one hell of a story in here. So first off, we'll start off at the first yard sale I went to right in the morning. Got up at about, went out about 9 a.m. because I knew there was a community yard sale happening. So the first place I go to, they got this, nice scorpion bobblehead here. So I like it. Immediately I knew I had to have it. And then they also had a couple Wii U games, Splinter Cell and Zombie U. Nothing too great, but she didn't have prices on anything, so, she said, what did I think? And honestly, I said $5 each, because I know Zombie U and Splinter Cell, really, used $10, really, is what I'd probably maximum pay for them. So since it was, a little yard sale, I said $5 each. She said, whatever, that's cool, and I picked these up for $5 each. So, I think that's a great deal, especially for Scorpion. So the next one, and this is the big story here, the next one I go to has, I'd say about, let's take these 5 here, has about 5 DS games. If it ever focuses. There we go. So I'm like, all right, 5 games, for my kid. He does, he likes DS games. He goes crazy for them. I had a couple of them already. One or two I didn't really care about. Say Madden 09 there. So I'm like, what do you want for them? The guy's like, $10 for them all. So I'm like, okay. So I give him my money. And as I do that, I start to go through them, open them up, and there's no games in pretty much all of them. Bakugan has the game in it, and Madden has the game in it. Whoop-de-doo. I already have Bakugan, so I was like, whoa, dude, there is no games in these. And he's like, really? So, he's an old guy, so he's like, well, I got a big old box of games in the house. Let me go get them. So I'm like, all right. I like big old box of games. So he comes back, and it's a big box of 360 games and more DS games. So I pull them all out. And so there's about another there's about 19 games in total here, if I remember correctly. And this bottom game here, this Transformers Prime game, was brand new, still sealed. So, I got hungry eyes on these. Not so much for these games here, because, Tangled, Army Men, whatever. Transformers I already have. So, I have a mini heart attack, pretty much. And trust me, you'll know why in a second. When he brings all this out, and I see these games. Now, obviously, if you know anything, that these are expensive games. Mario Brothers, Mario Kart DS, the Pokemons, they all sell for $20 to $30 still at EB Games, GameStop. That Pokemon Platinum version I saw the other day at the pawn shop for $50. So, hungry eyes, I'm like, heart jumping through my chest when I see this one. And if you know, Soul Silver is like the most expensive freaking Pokemon game on the DS. The one pawn shop I go to sells it for like, I don't know, $60 or something, and it's $80 if it has the heart tracker and everything that it came with. Unfortunately, as you can maybe tell from the video, there's slight water damage. You can see the slight wrinkle to it. So it's gotten wet at some point, and that makes me sad. But not as sad as after I pulled all these out Every freaking one of these games, except for that Transformers, none of them have games in them. Every friggin' one of them is an empty case. Empty, 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 empty. I almost cried. My heart sunk, you know what I'm saying? I was sad, and I was like, dude, you know, like, any idea where the games are? And he's like, I don't know, his kid, who's like in his 20s now, he's like, you know, I don't know what he did with them, you know, took them out, you know, who knows? Who knows? I mean, they're not in the big box of games, and no idea. So I was like, well, bro, you know, I'll give you $10 just for all the empty cases on 2 or 3 that did have games in them. And, you know, take it, and I'll take them. Because, I mean, you know, empty cases of these are like, you know, who the hell cares? But, I mean, Soul Silver's case is still worth, you know, some money, as well as the other Pokemon games and Mario Brothers and stuff. So, I mean, you know, if I find them out in the wild without the cases, at least now I have them. So I can make the complete thing then. So then after all that annoyances, I went to one of the pawn shops that I like to frequent, and picked up some pretty good deals there. First, I trolled through the original Xbox, and I picked up Demon Stone, which I think I already have. Unfortunately, I can't get into my Xbox section right now, so I can't confirm. So I picked up that, and then I picked up this broken sword, which just looks old and interesting. And I mean, honestly, I have no idea. So I grabbed that, and then I picked up Taz. It was 3 for $10 kind of thing. So I had to get 3. So these are the 3 that I believe I didn't have, although I think I had that. And then I went into their cheap DS section, and they had these cool DS cases that open up each one. They open up like that, hold 2 games, and then they open up again and hold another 2 games. I thought these were cool. So there was some like cheesy, pets games in them. So I just took the games out and said, how much for the case kind of thing. And because they were in the $5 game section that he has. Which, amusingly enough, in the $5 game section, there was another one here. But, amusingly enough, it had these games in it. So, as you can see, that's Yoshi's... here we go. Crack it open here if I can. Oh, I don't know how I did the first one so easy. So, as you can see, Yoshi's DS and Princess Peach. Not cheap games. So, and they were in the $5 each section. So I said, cut me a deal, like I usually do. And he said $15 for everything. So 10, 5, and then the cases. So it should have been over 20, but I only paid $15. And if Princess Peach is not a cheap game. No case, of course, which is terrible. Yoshi's Island I already have. So that's just an extra one my son can play. And I'd pay that for Peach alone. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then as I'm walking out, borderline walking out the door, I go and look behind his frigging cash register, as I always do. And while not a game pickup or anything, he's got this sitting there. And had a $40 price tag on it. And I was like, whew. I'm like, no way, man, put it back. And he's like, well, you give me $20 straight up and it's yours. So I was like, all right, can't say no to that. So, I don't know when it became the Wolfhound. I always thought it was the Snowcat from the original 80s one. This is a 2010 release. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he says that he thinks this came out the year after the 25th anniversary stuff came out. It was brand new in box. The only difference from the original is that, well, as you can tell, the rocket launcher shoots now, and then it has almost like a snow camo effect to it, whereas the original one was just pure white. I don't know who that guy is either, because that is not the original guy that came with this thing. Other than that, it is pretty much identical to the 1986 version or whatever it was that I got a couple of laying around here. So, hell, I had to have it. So I busted it out and I put it together, and it's rolling around in the back somewhere right now. So I was pretty happy with that. And all right, that concludes last weekend's pickup videos. So, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you got, and I'll see you next time. Later.